Now let us say hello to our next guest. Oh my gosh, my palms are sweaty. I'm very nervous. I didn't know what to expect from Bo. I don't know what to expect from our next guest because if I'm being honest, it has been 5 to 6 months of hell. It has been 5 to 6 months of hell. I do believe our long international nightmare is coming to an end in a matter of seconds. I wasn't sure if this day would ever come. I thought it might come a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, it was a false alarm. But I do believe that the reigning defending UFC women's bantamweight champion, one of our favorites, one of our own, she's one of our own. She's the Venezuelan vixen. She's one of our own. Julianna Peña is standing by, and I do believe that the world is healing. I do believe she is there. There she is. There she is. She is back. We are back, and the nightmare is officially over. Welcome home, Julianna. Welcome home. This is my virtual hug. This is me hugging the shot right here. We've missed you.
This is not my home. It is not my home.
What do you mean?
Especially with that Australian Scotsman PT in boys. Like, this is absolutely. I think you guys are on like a 9 or 10. Didn't you lose this last weekend? 10-fight losing streak since not having the Peña Power part of the boys anymore. This home that you want to claim is mine is not. You guys can have it. I took a step back and looks like you guys could definitely use the Peña Power back in your guys' graces. So I showed up reluctantly.
Oh my gosh.
And against my gut feeling of coming back on.
No.
But I'm throwing you a bone.
Thank you.
Of course, Ariel. So hurry up. Let's wrap this thing up. I got to go to my next practice.
Okay. We miss you. Why have you not been on the pro? Why has it been 5 to 6 long months?
Because you guys are a bunch of turncoats. I cannot believe you guys don't know what the word loyalty means. Me as like loyal to the soil, Leo Lion, like I'm totally like the most loyal person ever. And then you throw me under the bus by choosing Kayla as fighter of the year. Petey's just freaking wants to, I don't want to say getting pegged by her, but he's so jock riding that girl, bootlicking this chick. Like It's disgusting. I can't, I'm literally disgusted. Like I want nothing. I wanted nothing to do with you guys, but again,
you sent a real. I mean, I felt the anger. I felt the disappointment. By the way, I never said that she was going to beat you. Someone could, she could get injured. She can move up. Like things could happen. I never said in a head-to-head matchup that she was going to beat you. I'm staying out of this one. Did I not say this was my most anticipated fight of 2025? That I couldn't wait. That I wanted you guys to do a face-off. You guys were made for this moment. There it is, June 7th in Newark.
You could have chosen anyone. You could have said Bo Nickel. You could have said like Carlos Olberg. You could have said the Peña Power, but you chose her, and that really it broke my heart. And especially since working with the boys for so long, like I didn't think that you would betray me like this, honestly. And that's clearly the only reason why I'm here is to tell you that was a scumbag move. You really hurt my feelings.
Wow, me?
And
yeah. You're turning on me. Yeah. Scumbag move.
No, you already turned on me, and that scumbag Scotsman that you got working for you, he can freaking go back to Scotland.
He doesn't know you. He's allowed to pick a winner. Like, he has no allegiances, if we're being honest. No, I mean, you have no relationship with him.
He can go ahead and just take that role because I'm out. I'm not.
Well, what about the boys in the back? I think they had your back. In fact, I think.
Oh, GC in New York, Rick. Yeah, Mysterious Frank. Those are my guys.
Okay, so you're cool with them?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Of course we're cool. Me and my financial advisor have actually been going over a new investment strategy, and it's just weekly Julianna Peña money line for her fight against Kayla Harrison, and we're just waiting for that to occur on June 7th in Newark.
Our hands are clean. We're always supporting Julianna.
Yes, it was that stinking Australian you got working over there, and that freaking Ariel Helwani. Wow! My goodness, I cannot believe the disloyalty over there. It's ridiculous. And then you're like, "Oh, you're gonna come on the show and come visit the studio?" Like, what? Now you're asking for favors? What are you talking about?
No, listen, you're the only guest that we've ever flown in. You were a part of our road show in New York a couple years ago. You had a grand old time. You were a surprise guest. It was such a big deal. We had to break the bank just to fly you first class. In fact, I think we even got you tickets to the fight the next night, if my memory serves me correct. I'm not sure. I mean, you're one of us. You're part of the team. Like I was devastated. It ruined my Christmas, by the way. I woke up on Christmas morning.
And then. You
Yes.
said you were going to get me a sponsorship.
Working on it. I'm working on it.
No sponsorship.
Wow.
So far, it's just a bunch of disappointments here on the Ariel Helwani Show. In fact, seriously, let's wrap this
Okay,
up.
I'm sorry. Who's that guy or gal?
Perspective.
Who's that dog over there?
Oh, this is Groot the Prick. This is.
Oh, wow. Would he or she betray you? Never.
Never. This guy sleeps right here on my neck. Like this is my guy right here, the man of the house.
Have you been for lack of a better word, stabbed in the back? Like has this brought up, old feelings of someone breaking your trust and not being loyal?
It's happened a lot actually. Being loyal like this it'll only get you hurt, and that's for sure. But you know what? We all we do is we forgive. We throw love out there because love combats everything, and we move on. And I'm just trying to start another day. I was gonna come on last week, and then I'm not gonna blame you.
Oh my God!
Exactly.
Oh my God!
But you're texting me, and then boom, freaking cock rammed in a car accident. Bang,
okay. By the way, I didn't know you were driving. I didn't tell you to text me in the moment.
Well, I had to get to the parking lot because I had to make my next practice so that I could do the interview. So I had to leave the house early in order to make the interview possible.
Oh my God.
And
how much were you hating me? How much were you cursing me? I felt so bad. I'm like, this woman is never going to talk to me ever again. Not only did I have to literally offer up my firstborn as a sacrifice, now she gets into a car accident 3 minutes before the show. And by the way, I never said what happened. I just said something came up. I didn't want to get into your personal business, but I felt horrible. If I'm being honest, I really did feel horrible. Can I pay for the accident?
I got a brand spanking new car in December, and I gave my old one to my mom. And I'm driving to this interview to appease you of all. I don't know why. I'm driving to make this Ariel Helwani interview, and these two cops in an unmarked squad car and this other chick go right through the intersection at the same time. And I'm literally looking at it thinking, man, I wonder how they're going to be able to clear that before that other car. And as I was thinking that, then they came and hit each other. She T-boned the cops, and then they came and ran right into me and took out my complete front end of my car. And I've never been in an accident before, so I was obviously shaken up. But also, there was a scratch on the back of my bumper, and I had got the car, I paid for the wing ding and the tire package so that if any scratches, you go get it fixed for free. So I got my car that Saturday, and I didn't drive it because on Sundays, I only went to church on Sunday. Then on Mondays, I'm going off to my first practice, and right when I leave the corner of my neighborhood, I'm getting in this gigantic car accident. And so I had my car back from the shop for less than 48 hours.
Oh my God.
And now I'm back in the rental again, and Lord knows when it's going to be done. It's going to take another 2.5 weeks, they said. So I'm just, ugh.
Well, if I can offer a sincere apology and sincere support, we appreciate you. We respect you. Dare I say, we love you, Julianna. We love you. Can I take this as an olive branch? Can I take this as a thawing of the ice? Are we back at least, or is this just you're doing it so I could stop bothering you?
Can you take my car accident as an olive branch?
No. I mean this appearance, this you coming on.
I miss you, and that's the truth of it. And I'm a lover too, and so I really am doing this because I miss you boys, and it's been too long, and I obviously had to make an appearance. So yes, we can be friends.
We love you, Julianna.
There it is. I mean, I don't know if Connor was sleeping over there. What was going on over there, Connor? You were sleeping? I mean,
posting an update.
Okay, all right.
Hard at work over here, man. Head down.
Julianna, what a time this is for you. I mean, this is the right time for you to be on because you're about to defend your title in 32 days from now, right here across the river. You are a massive dog, and based on our research, it's very unofficial. I can't find another champion that has been this big of an underdog going into a title defense. What do you make of this disrespect?
It's just this constant rain of disrespect everywhere I go. It's just the such is my life. And that's okay because nothing makes me happier, nothing brings me more joy than to ruin people's nights and to prove everybody wrong. So I'm just being put in a position again of needing to silence everyone. And if anybody has that ability, it's me. And so I'm just feeling right at home in the same spot that I've always been in. And, to be honest, I don't take too much of the betting underdog favorite stuff into stock. I don't let that get into my head at all. I know what I'm capable of doing. I know who I am as a fighter, and knowing the work and the mat time that I've put in gives me all the confidence in the world that I could literally fight anybody. So come on with it, girl. She's in for a long night at the office. Either way you split it.
What were the vibes that you were getting from her? You guys had the press conference about a month ago. It was very entertaining, as expected. The one in Utah, where you weren't fighting each other, but you were both up there in separate fights, was incredible theater. But you were back at it, the face-off here. What were you feeling from her a month ago in Miami?
I was feeling great. That's the only thing that I can say. I was feeling great. I don't have I know that they ask always all the time, are you scared? Are you scared? Of course, there is a bit of anxiousness and nervousness that comes in this fighting game. But I put all my fears, all my doubts, all my worries, all my anxieties at the foot of the cross, and I don't get too weary about anything, because I have made peace with living. I've made peace with dying. And at the end of the day, once that cage door closes, in my mind, I have already made peace with the fact that I could die in there. And so when you have made that peace, and when you know what you're capable of doing, and when you know how much time you've dedicated into doing this, the only thing left to do is just to do it. So there's not that much fear anymore. It's just more so I'm ready. I'm ready for this moment. I'm ready to step into this light, and I'm ready to silence everybody yet again. So it's a great place to be in, because I feel like I'm in a win-win situation, you know?
There have been some people who have discussed her weight cutting, right? Like that it's okay to do it once and maybe twice, but to keep doing this at 135 pounds is a big ask, especially when she has been fighting at 45, 55, etc. What do you think? Are there any concerns on your end about her making this weight successfully come June 6th?
No, I don't think so. She's a professional, she's a professional, and I have no doubts that she's going to make the weight. Does it suck? Is it mentally and physically and emotionally taxing? Absolutely. But that's what you get when you try to be a weight bully and cut, 50 pounds in order to make the weight class. So she, again, is in for a long night at the office. And not only that, but just take into consideration her first fight at 135 pounds going 25 minutes. It's going to be very grueling and taxing. And at this point, it's like, how are you going to win? You might be able to lay on top of me for one round, maybe. But after that, as every minute that the fight goes on, the longer that the fight goes on is just better for me. I got the gas tank. I got the cardio. I have been in there to learn the lessons with the best of the best, with the Amanda Nuneses that can switch their footwork and that are far more dangerous on the feet and on the ground than she is. So when I know that I've been through these tests before and I have learned these lessons, I have literally been in there and experienced everything that there could be able to experience. Is she going to throw me on my head one time? Yeah, good luck after that. It's going to be very difficult for her. And I know that she's already battling her own demons as far as her weight cut goes. But I cannot focus too much on what she has to do. I have to focus on what I have to do. Quite frankly, I have gotten bigger. I have to focus on my own weight cut, So my own weight cut is kind of where my head needs to be at right now, is less worried about what she's got going on and more worried about what I know that I need to do.
By the way, I understand where you're coming from with the weight bullying stuff, like this is something said, but there isn't a 145 or 55. Like, she has no other choice. So is that fair?
She does have a choice. She was supposed to fight Cris Cyborg, and she ran away from her.
In the UFC, though. In the UFC.
Bro, if they're telling me that I'm getting paid over $1 million to fight Cris Cyborg in any other organization, I don't care where I'm fighting. I want to fight for money because we are prize fighters. So she says, I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be this famous person. Bull. Because if you didn't, then you would have never came over to the UFC. You would have never tried to jump the line in front of all these other girls that have been putting in 10 years in this division to try to fight for a title. So I don't want to hear this, I don't care about being famous. I don't care about people knowing my name. Of course you do. Of course you do. Because if you didn't, you would have taken the $1 million and you would have fought Cris Cyborg if you were truly the best of the best. But she didn't want to do that. She didn't want to prove herself against Cris, and that's why she came running to the UFC. And now she's going to have to pay for it in her body of having to make this this weight. And so I guess you just got to pick your battles, right? Money versus fame versus, having to cut, 50 pounds in order to make the weight class. I mean, choose your heart, I guess, is what I would say.
By the way, so are you concerned about your own weight cut?
Yeah, of course. I'm always concerned about my own weight cut. I have been able to put on, size. I went down to the UFC and I did like a befores and afters of where I started versus where I am now. And I am bigger and my frame is a lot bigger. And so I definitely have more weight to cut myself.
Any lessons that you learned from her fight against Caitlin? I know you were there, but obviously focusing on your own fight, you probably had some time to watch it. It got a little dicey there for a moment. It was kind of the first time that we had seen her really have to deal with some adversity. I know she lost to Larissa, but the bloody nose, all that stuff. Anything you took from that? Any lessons?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Catlin did a very great job in round 2, not getting taken down at all. And again, if that fight would have went 5 rounds, I know that again, and the more and the longer that the time goes on for Catlin is better for Catlin versus Kayla, because she was absolutely gassed after round 3, and I know that her arms, legs, everything felt like cement blocks that she probably couldn't even pick up after round 3. So those are just things, some things that I noticed.
Okay. And in terms of preparing for her, I mean, that's a Olympic judoka. That's a high level athlete. Are you bringing in people that have her style to replicate her as you're preparing?
Yeah, one of her old training partners from the Olympics 2016, Max Schneider. I've hired him as my coach, and he's been with me this whole last month, and he'll be there with me for fight week.
Wow. How did you link up with him?
He's from Chicago, actually. He's a born and raised Chicagoan. And
did you reach out, or did he reach out?
I reached out. Yeah. I know that he worked with Holly Holm when she beat Ronda Rousey in Australia a long time ago. So he was her main training partner for that Ronda Rousey fight. And then for whatever reason, he didn't come back for her fight against Kayla. And so, I put on a wrestling coach, Izzy Martinez, as my wrestling coach. I've put like a more solid team behind me for this fight camp than I've ever had before.
Wow. Okay. This is interesting. So someone who knows her intimately, who's actually trained with her, who's been on the mats with her.
Yes.
Look at you. You're taking this seriously.
Of course. Yeah. It's a serious thing. It's fist fighting in a cage. You can't get any more real than that.
At that press conference, there was a certain Amanda Nunes sitting there, and it was kind of just revealed she's back, that she will fight the winner. Did this take you by surprise, or were you always expecting this?
I was always expecting it. I literally said it. I went over there to Vancouver, watched her lay down her gloves, and told everybody what a liar she was and booed her the entire time, because I knew that she wasn't going to be fully retired. And that's the thing. I hate this whole I'm retiring, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to retire, stay retired. I don't understand why fighters always retire and then come back. Like, what is the point of, like, somebody hand this girl the Oscar, because she had everybody like, oh my gosh, like, is she retiring? It's over. And I'm like, no, it's not. She's way too young. She's not going to be done. She doesn't know what her life is outside of fighting, and she's going to get bored, and, she's just going to want to come back and fight again. And now that the limelight is not on her and it's on Kayla and I, and she sees that, I know that she's itching and scratching to get back in there. And she's sitting there watching me do her dirty work like a lazy broad that she is. It's absolutely ridiculous, but whatever. She's going to do whatever she needs to do. And at the end of the day, Amanda is not my focus. Amanda is the furthest thing from my mind right now. I have a rhinoceros coming to fight me on June 7th, and I need and will be 1,010% prepared for when that happens. So it's one thing at a time for me right now. I'm on a one-track mind.
I get that, respect that. Have you been told, though, that if you win, Amanda is next?
Yeah, I knew a long time ago that it was told to me, Amanda wants nothing to do with you. She wants absolutely nothing to do with you. She hates Kayla. She feels like she has nothing to prove against you, and that she hates Kayla more than she feels like she wants to fight you. So if she comes back, it's it's to fight Kayla only.
Oh.
If she sees when she sees that chaotic mess that she's going to see on June 7th, she's not going to want to get back in there again and do it all over again. She'll probably stay retired, but we'll see. She was pretty pleasant in terms of afterwards, I thought that we were gonna, have some words and talk, but the security guards were doing, I would say, a big job of keeping us separated and making sure that we were not able to be very close to one another.
Oh, wow.
She told me though, it's all up to you. It's all in your hands, and everything will be decided, and everything is going to be determined by you and what you do. And so,
wow.
She basically saying, I will grant you the trilogy pending that, you take care of your business on June 7th. And that's exactly what I'm prepared and will do.
Where was all this? Where did this happen, this interaction?
It was in the back right after the press conference.
Okay, and what did you say to her when she said that?
I said, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Oh.
But your prediction is she watches you win and then decides not to come back.
I wouldn't want to. Dude, like every time we fought, it wasn't some shutout. It was like she's saying she was playing with her food. Bull, dude, you could not finish me. You dropped me, you couldn't finish me. You tried to get on top of me, you couldn't submit me. Like she almost got submitted in the 4th round. She was, dead to rights in that armbar. So I think for her, she knows again that it's a hard night out fighting me. Either way you split it. So even for 25 minutes after the 4th round, I'm going to get up and I'm going to start coming at you again and again and again. It's never going to stop. So it's just one of those things where, I think that at this point, whether Kayla wants to say that I have no skills and that I'm just at the top just because I just magically got here, the turtle just magically got to the top of the pole, or whether Amanda wants to discredit me in any way, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, they know that once they get locked in the cage with the Peña power, that it's a whole different story. When I'm actually in front of you, it is a completely different fight.
Just a couple more things and we'll let you go. This has been so great. I never wanted to end. It's been so nice to have you, but we will not keep you much longer. I know you've brought up PEDs in the past. Any concerns that they will be involved in this fight?
Golly, how would I know? I wouldn't know how to navigate that, because at this point, this drug testing is like the wild, wild west. It's like pee in a plastic cup that has absolutely no security on it, and do what you got to do. Even in the what was that, the Olympics, with the Russians being able to tamper with those USADA unbreakable type of bottles and be able to switch the peas in them. Eventually everything that you do in the dark comes to the light, and I cannot confirm 110% whether she is or is not on PEDs, but I will say that back then in the Olympics, she looked, like a girl, very feminine, and now she looks super juicy and cut up, somebody give that girl a Band-Aid, because she's cut. And it doesn't just happen overnight just because you touch the weights a little bit. So, I want to say what everybody's thinking on their minds, which is that, of course, she at some point was on steroids, and hopefully she cycles off of them before June 7th, makes the weight, and pisses clean, because that's what I'm going to be doing. And I want this to be as fair a fight as possible, minus her, being a weight bully and cutting the 50 pounds in order to make the weight class.
A month ago, she was on the show. She said this, quote, I want to have a lot of respect for Julianna because she's a single mom, a veteran of the sport. She scratched and clawed her way to the top. She believed in herself when nobody believed in her. I really want to have admiration for her. And I think deep down I do. And I love that she's confident. She says what she thinks. But she's just pretty dumb sometimes, so it's hard. It's difficult. Just some of the stuff cheesy, very cringe. She reminds me a lot of Henry Cejudo trying too hard. What do you think of that?
I think it's funny because I think she came on the show and said that I had no skills. And then I saw another interview maybe 2 weeks ago that said that she was preparing for Godzilla. So make up your mind.
That's respect.
Make up your mind. Do I have no skills, or are you preparing for Godzilla? Which is it? What am I? I'm Momzilla. Get it right. And just so you know, when you watch the movie Godzilla versus King Kong, Godzilla wins. So thank you for the compliment. Talk about dumb. Get a clue, girl.
I never saw the movie. Thank you for the spoiler, but I guess I don't have to watch it. Can I just ask you, what's the prediction?
The prediction?
How do you actually see it playing out?
I'm going to win. I'm going to get my hand raised. I'm going to literally be a squirrely scrapper with the heart of a lion that I am. And I'm going to, like she said, I'll take it directly from her mouth. I am going to scratch and claw my way to victory. And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how, but I'm going to eventually catch her. And that will happen soon. And maybe in the 4th round, maybe in the 5th round, but I will be able to get her eventually.
Before I let you go, we were debating this beforehand. You've retweeted a couple things about Cannon Katzer, a guy named Cannon Katzer. We're trying to understand what's your relationship to this football player. Here you are retweeting Cannon Katzer, who's going to West Virginia. Who is Cannon Katzer in your life?
So Rick Little is the one that taught me how to fight. I was born and raised under Rick's Sick Jitsu systems in Spokane, Washington all my life. Rick had a baby mama, Misty King, and Misty had 2 sons. She had Taven, and then she had Cannon. And then she got married and met her it would have been her husband at the time, and they were in a horrible ATV accident. And she was passing the little baby to her husband who was driving, and the little baby pulled the steering wheel really hard because he wanted to drive. But when she was passing the baby, she took her seatbelt off, and when the baby pulled the wheel, they fell off of a cliff. And she snapped her neck, and she passed away in that ATV accident. And so Cannon is her middle child, and he lost his mother, and now he has been talk about clawing and scratching his way to getting into the NFL. And he's just been looking for a shot, but he has managed to do an incredible job. He was playing down in Southern California, then in Sacramento, and now he just got on at West Virginia. And I've just been trying to put a lot of light on him because I know how good he is. I know how dedicated he is. And honestly, like I'm just gonna say it now, that kid is something else. And I just think he's like a Julian Edelman, you know what I mean? And usually for those types of positions, you see, African Americans playing that type of role. But he's a little white boy from Spokane, and that guy can run the ball like I've never seen in my life. And so I'm just rooting, hoping, praying for the best for Cannon because he's a really good kid. He deserves it. And I know that he made his mama a promise, and I am hoping that he fulfills that because Misty was a total angel.
Wow. I'm really sorry. That is shocking. What a freaking story. Holy crap. We're rooting for him as well. And last thing, I don't know if you noticed this. On UFC, we looked at this. We were very professional here. On UFC.com, you're listed as 13-5. On Wikipedia, you're listed as 12-5. On Tapology, 11-5. So which is it? What's your actual record?
Ariel, some people ask me what my age is, and I don't know. I think I'm 34, but I think I might be 35. And I can't sing and dance, and I can't do math. That's why I fist fight. I don't know. I would have to write out every single fight that I've ever had if I could remember them all. And then I would be able to tell you what the actual record is. So after this phone call, I'll write it out and I'll tell you what it actually is.
Doesn't matter. You're the champ. You're the 2-time champ. You did what Volkanovski did. You got the win. You stumbled, you came back, you defied the odds, and on June 7th, you make that walk as champion once again in the most anticipated fight of 2025 so far. I would still love to do the face-off, if I'm being honest, but I feel like I'm on the outs with you. Just this is all that I'll take. It's all that I'll take.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I hope the UFC steals that idea and does it with you guys so I can watch it and say I had that idea first because it would be blockbuster. It would be incredible theater. And by the way, just want to throw it out there, if in fact you are bored during your time here in the Northeast, the area that we flew you in to do the shows around the same area, if you want to come visit the studio and say hello to the boys, we'll get a nice car for you. We'll bring you to and fro, no problem. You know how we do. We're very classy here. We're first class. So just think about it. But this has warmed my cold heart. It's been so great to have you back on.
Thank you. Thank you. If you throw in a couple Labubus, then maybe I'll come.
What's that? What is a Labubu? What is?
You're going to have to look it up. If you can throw in a couple real Labubus, then maybe
we're in.
I'll come.
Whatever it is, we're in. Thank you,
okay,
Julianna.
thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
She is the best, the great Julianna Peña. Love having the Venezuelan vixen on. Can someone tell me what a labubu is?
I don't know. I'm looking that up, but I am hyped for June 9th when she comes in studio with the
Wow.
Great.
Wow. Listen, I am
Labubu?
abstaining. Labubu. Pop Mart? Is it a toy? Is it a monster?
It looks like a little toy.
What?
Yeah, we can buy a few of these.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Let's get one with a UFC belt on it.
Labubu doll. Oh, there's someone who unboxed. Yeah, it's just a doll. Is it this? Is she referring to this? Does she think this is a Labubu? Because it kind of looks like a Labubu.
No, I think she's saying, please pamper me with gifts to make it up.
Yeah, have some Labubus.
Yeah, popmart.com, a couple of Labubus, yeah.
I need to ask our good friend Sav Jelly. She made this custom, one of one, Tom Aspinall.
Legend.
I'm just glad we're back.
We're back. You see, and this is the thing that I will say about Julianna, but she was really pissed. She did feel betrayed. But unlike others, she's not holding that grudge. There have been a few that have done this, right? They've been mad, they come back. Aljo did it. Askren did it. We appreciate those. Come on. Break bread. Bury the hatchet. Life's too short, right?
Now, how long till Kayla texts?
But that fiendish Scottish Pete Caro.
Australian.
We gotta
that
get
Australian
him.
piece of shit, Pete Caro.
We gotta get him sorted out.
Oh my God.
I know he's nervous for Jack Della this weekend, wants another belt down under.
Oh my God. Listen.
The Scottish Australian.
By the way,
he's the biggest
I had
Casey O'Neill fan on earth.
I had Pete's back. He has no allegiance. I don't even know if Pete's ever met Julianna. He doesn't have any allegiance to her. He's calling it down the middle. Did I screw up 100%? I should have just picked Zhang. I should have abstained. I have great,
like I did.
Yeah, I have great respect and admiration for both of them. I'm not even going to watch the fight. I'm going to be a mess. I'm going to be a nervous wreck. I'm going to abstain. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.